Josh and I went over our goals from last year. I also wanted to come on here this morning before everyone else is up. It's about 7:30. And personally, I would like to focus a lot more on me and loving me more. Part of my journey with multiple sclerosis is learning to say no to myself and learning to say yes to myself. And what I mean by that is learning to say no to things I know are going to make me feel bad. I have a lot of sensitivities digestive wise with my condition. It makes me super sensitive to processed foods, which is why we are having this whole homestead. But I say this because I will make the decision to just bite the bullet and go ahead and get something quick and easy, and then I pay for it later. And I feel miserable, and I should love myself enough to know better and do better than that. So that is something that I would like to personally work on this year, and just taking the time to really take care of my body. I'm still learning how to read how much energy I have. A lot of the times I will go to do something and it would have way surpassed the amount of energy I have, and in a matter of seconds I've overdone it. So one of the things that I would like to focus on in the new year is definitely working on learning my body a little bit more, and what I can and can't do on certain days, and being graceful to myself on the days where I have overdone it, and not mentally beating myself up over the fact I can't do something. It's tough. It's definitely a humbling thing. I'm still learning that my body is not okay, and I act like it is most days, because most days I feel okay enough. But I don't want to get to the point where every day is not good because I was not okay enough. So definitely the supplement that I take is a world of difference. Part of the reason why I feel like I'm able to work so much and still work so hard is because I know what it's like to absolutely feel helpless and feel like I absolutely cannot do something. Those first 8 months after I was diagnosed were the absolute roughest. And I 100% saw the dark side. And that's different for me. I'm not a person who has ever had or dealt with depression. And, a couple weeks ago, I was talking with a coworker and just talking about how I needed to really change my mindset. And I would have days where I would want to just sulk and be cuddled up under the blankets all day and be mopey, as my mom would call it, be a bump on a log. And just kind of veg out in that sad, depressed, pitiful me state. And I talked to her about how annoying but also helpful at the same time, Josh was and is in not letting me be in that position. On those days he would say, nope, you gotta get up, you gotta go do something, we still have to go and take care of everybody, we still have to get up and go to work. Like, this isn't an option, because if you allow yourself to do that just once, just one day, you think, oh, well, I can do it another day, and another day, and another day, and soon it becomes a bad habit. And I don't know how people deal with depression full time. I've never been one to experience that. And I really hope that I don't ever, but having him as my support system, I feel like this has humbled him more than it's humbled me. And I know that it's tough and it's hard a lot of days for him, because he can't do anything to help. Not really. He can't wave a magic wand and make me feel better. He can't suddenly give me all of the strength of Hercules. I absolutely love him for everything he does. I appreciate him more than he knows. And he could have been like a lot of other husbands when their wife gets sick, or their wife deals with a life-changing disease, and he could have just left. There's a lot of people out there who would have, and he didn't, and he hasn't. And we fight and we argue, but there's no one else I would rather fight with. There's no one else I'd rather argue with. There's a lot of times where I have to think to myself, is this absolutely worth fighting over? Is this worth the battle? Because at the end of the day, I love him, he loves me, and we are 100% committed to each other, not only in our marriage, but also in this lifestyle. And we are both committed to living this way to make a bigger difference for ourselves and for others. Now, I feel like I don't always say that I appreciate him enough. So if there's someone out there in your life that goes above and beyond without realizing it, tell them you appreciate them. Love on them a little harder today. Something that I feel we could all use in the world is, if you choose to be anything today, be kind. And just that little bit can go so far. Be the one to make the first move. Be the one to go buy some roses. We've listened to a lot of different podcasts and people about marriages, and a lot of different sermons on how to outserve your spouse, and how to always be thinking of ways to serve them. And it could be just as simple as going to get those groceries that they need. It could be just as simple as picking up after them. And I know that sounds silly, but at the end of the day, is it worth it? is it worth the argument, or is it worth it to just go ahead and clean it up? You know, it's not a he said, she said. It's a we're in this together. I'm excited for what this year has in store for us, and I'm also excited for what we have in store for this year. So I think it'll be a fun endeavor for us to continue doing our daily vlogs for you guys. I need to get more comfortable in front of the camera. I've never been one of those girls who was always comfortable in front of speaking to a camera. You know, my whole life I've had my photo taken every 5 seconds pretty much. Thanks, Mom. And so it's different when I'm talking to you and keeping in mind where the message is going, not just, oh, I'm just gonna make dinner, so I'm gonna turn the camera on. So it's definitely working on better connecting with y'all and really having a conversation with you. So something that I'll work on this year for sure. Well, I'm gonna go make some coffee and see if Josh is getting up soon.